One of the best things you can do as a commercial real estate agent is to get involved in your community. In fact, one of the guiding principles at Sperry Commercial Global Affiliates is to give back to your community. It is one of the 10 things that we recommend. And of course, I've been involved since I was in my 30s with various different charities. And I'll give you one story, which is interesting in that it really catapulted one of my broker's careers, but it's the perfect example. And that is, I was involved in it was a community of homes. There were 6 homes, and they housed 6 children each, and it was for battered children. And so they would be taken away from their parents because the parents were abusing them somewhere or another. And I got involved because a friend asked me to be involved because they only had one home and they wanted to get to 5 or 6 homes, and they thought they needed a real estate guy on the board. And of course, once you're on the board, you're really involved in everything, not just helping them acquire the next home and then the next home after that. And you meet the children and you get pretty wrapped up in it. Well, I was so focused on that, I actually wasn't really paying attention to the other board members. In other words, it wasn't my goal to be friends with them. It was more my goal to get care for these kids and financial care and expanding the program. But about a couple years into it, I had one of the guys tap me on the shoulder and said, the guy I used to work for, and he owns a shopping center in Tustin, which is here in Orange County, and turns out to be a rather large shopping center. This is, 18 years ago, probably around the year 2000. And I said, wow, who's your friend? And he goes, well, I was a CFO for Century 21. And I go, what? Yeah, for the startup. And I go, wow, okay. I knew you were in real estate because he talked about residential homes he owned and stuff. And I go, well, who's your friend? He said, Art Bartlett. Well, Art Bartlett started Century 21. He was the original founder. I mean, there were other people involved, but it was really his baby. And so he set up the introduction. So I brought our top broker to help me with this project and to actually be the lead person. And it turned out to be a $30 million project. And again, 18 years ago, a lot of money. Probably the thing's worth 60 to 70 million today. And we meet with Art Bartlett, and I go, wow, this is just amazing. I'm meeting, kind of my, hero in the residential world, because I would tell people I wanted to be the Century 21 of commercial real estate. There really wasn't a franchise back then in commercial real estate that you could plug into at an affordable price and be part of a national network. So for me, it was fun because I got to talk to Art, and he would tell me how difficult it was when he first started. And people would typically say, well, why should I take on that name when I've got a great local name and regional name myself? And I go, exactly, I'm getting the same issues. And it was kind of fun chit-chatting with him on that. But the bottom line is, we got that listing. And it really catapulted the career of this agent, because as a result, that property was 4 to 5 times larger. I think the largest deal he'd sold up to that point was about 7 or 8 million. And selling a $30 million deal, being the exclusive agent on it, he had 4 or 5 offers, and then clients would come in and say, well, I'll give you my deal. I have a deal to sell if you let me buy this deal. And of course, our goal is to get the seller the top price. And believe me, Art Bartlett's a sharp guy. We got him the price, but in return, the agent got another listing. And then he sold that property, and he got another one, and so on. And now he became the king of the $30 million plus shopping centers and the institutional, and became a multimillionaire in our organization. And I am sure if I were to bump into him on the street, he's one of those individuals that would say, gosh, Rand, how you doing? How are the kids? And thank you. And he would thank me for being part of his success. And really, it was all about me being involved in the community. And of course, when he made money, we made money, so we were both very successful. And it paid back. There's a philosophy out there. whatever you give, you get back tenfold. And I could write a book about that. Another example is I joined a CEO group, which are a lot of opportunities for you to join mentor groups or groups of colleagues that aren't in your business but are in a similar business, and you guys can relate to the challenges of the industry you're in. So I joined a group like that, and I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot from these individuals, and we would do stuff. We would get together every month, talk about our issues and challenges. And it was interesting, after about 2 or 3 years, they started tapping me on their shoulder saying, I've got $5 million to invest, I've got $10 million to invest, I just sold my company for $30 million, can you help me? And today, as you know, we have Sperry Equities, it's a national real estate company, and probably every one of the originating individuals, investors that we had came from that group of people or the extended group. And so join an organization that can also help you in your business life as well as giving back to the community. It's very important. If you do both, you're going to be twice as successful.